This is lesson 3 for course 1, missing numbers in addition and subtraction. So we have to remember for this lesson the relationship that addition and subtraction has. We have to remember that they are inverse to each other. So that means that subtraction is the opposite of addition, and addition is the opposite of subtraction. Because of this, we can use them to find missing numbers in the other one. For example, if I have the question 12 add m equals 31. Now I need to find out what m is. Sometimes our first instinct is to take 12 and just count up to see how many we get until 31. And that's one option. But as we get bigger and bigger numbers, it gets harder and harder to do. So an easier way to do it is to do the opposite, or subtraction. Remember, when we do subtraction, we always have to start with the biggest number. So if we went this way for addition, we do this way for subtraction. So we start with 31 with our biggest number and take away 12. This should give us m. Let's try. I can't take 2 away from 1, so I'm going to borrow and regroup. This is now 11 take away 2. 11 take away 2 is 9. 2 take away 1 is 1. So we have 19. So this should be m equals 19. And I always encourage, you now have to go check. So you should be able to do 12 plus 19 equals 31. 9 plus 2 is 11. Carry it over, 1, 2, 3, makes 31. So we are correct. M equals 19. Okay, but this is one way to use a subtraction to find an addition missing number problem. Let's look at another one. If you have more than 2 addends, so if we have the addends 36 add 17 add 5 add n equals 64. Okay, now this is a multiple addend problem. We're still trying to find out what n is. We have a missing addend. So we're going to figure that out by starting with adding these 3 numbers together. Okay, so these 3 numbers added together, 36 plus 17 plus 5 is 6 and 7 is 13. 13 plus 5 is 18. Bring it up. 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. We have 58. Okay, so these 3 numbers together is 58. So we can shrink this problem to 58 plus n equals 64. Okay, now I can do my subtraction, because going this way is addition, going this way is going to be subtraction. So again, we start with our biggest number. It's going to be 64, subtract 58, and subtraction. I can't take 8 away from 4, so I'm going to regroup. 14 take away 8 is 6. 5 take away 5 is 0, which means n should be 6. And now let's check. Let's go back to over here and go, okay, so if this works, 36 plus 17 plus 5 plus 6 should give me 64. Again, 6 and this is 13. 13 add 5 is 18. 18 add 6 is 24. Carry the 2. 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 1 is 6. We have 64. So this is a multi-step problem when you start adding more addends, but you can still use the same method. You take the ones you know, add them together, take that and subtract it from the sum. This will give you your missing addend. All right, let's take a look at subtraction. When you have a missing subtraction problem, it might look something like this. W take away 16 equals 24. Now, I don't know what W is. I know it is a larger number than 16 and then 24, but I don't know otherwise. But because I know it's a larger number than 16 and 24, and the reason it has to be is because it has to be bigger than 16 so that 16 can be taken away from it. And after this number has 16 taken away from it, it is 24. So it has to be bigger than both. Because I know this, I can take these 2 numbers and add them. So I'm going to take 24 and 16 and add them together. and I'm going to get my missing number. So that is 6 plus 4 is 10. That is 2 plus 2 is 4, so that is 40. So this should be 40 take away 16 equals 24. Regroup. And we do have 24, okay? Notice every single problem I've checked it this way. This is how I want you to do it as well, because we always have to check just in case we've made a calculation error. Now, you can do the inverse for this, for subtraction, if it is the biggest number you are missing. If it is not the biggest number you are missing, and it was in fact 16 instead, you would not be able to do addition, because then you'd be getting a bigger number than this one. This top number has to be the biggest. If it is not the biggest, you cannot subtract. For example, if you had the missing, if you have 8 take away n equals 2, what you're looking at is you cannot add 2 to 8. You will get a bigger number than 8. So in this scenario, you are still subtracting. I would take 8 and I would subtract 2 from 8, which would give me 6. N should now be 6, and I can check. 8 take away 6 equals 2. Okay? You can only do your addition to find the missing number for subtraction if this is the number you are missing. If that is not the number you are missing and you are in fact missing this one, you have to do subtraction still, because we cannot have a number bigger than our top number. That is the end of lesson 3, missing numbers in addition and subtraction.